Kate and I tried the carnivore diet for the last 100 days, and this is what happened to our bodies.
So what is the carnivore diet? That is the carnivore diet. Meat, salt, and water. We strictly adhered to this diet for 100 days, and honestly, it was one of the hardest things that we've ever done.
The reason we attempted this diet was to see what sort of effect it would have on our autoimmune diseases. We tracked our health through stool samples and blood samples. After 100 days, we did not expect that these would be our results.
So I have Hashimoto's disease and Isaac has Crohn's disease, and we've been struggling with these for the last 10 years.
I think I've had mine for 9 now.
A really long time. So I know you're not supposed to get medical advice from YouTube, but we had heard so many people claim that they healed their autoimmune diseases from the carnivore diet, so we just had to give it a try for ourselves.
Now, disclaimer, we did do some other research beyond TikTok and YouTube, but mainly YouTube. The carnivore diet is basically an elimination diet, which has been used for hundreds of years to treat diseases. So that's how we viewed it going into this, as an elimination diet, which huge perk with that is it would cut out processed foods and sugars, which I think is common knowledge now that those foods have been linked to higher inflammation levels and the spread of modern diseases. So again, just cutting all of that junk out, we are curious to see what our results would be. We've had our ups and downs on this diet for sure. The first 2 weeks were the worst. We both got hit with the keto flu. I even broke out with a rash on my neck and my arm, then nauseous in and out all of the time. We actually felt worse the first 2 weeks than we did before starting the diet. So we pushed through and got through the keto flu and all of that. That probably stopped around 30 days. But then came the cramps, which were crazy. I mean, we'd wake up in the middle of the night with leg cramps. One time I got an ab cramp. It was so painful, it was awful.
We made some adjustments, added magnesium, and things started to get better. We actually were starting to see results, which was so encouraging. My cystic acne started to clear up and get better. Isaac's Crohn's cramps were less and less frequent, and we were starting to put on muscle tone. Drum roll, please. Our 100-day results. I have my blood work right here. I will tell you what's on them. Superficial results. You go first.
I didn't lose weight, which was a big deal for me because I'm naturally very skinny and I lose weight very easily. And I thought with the calorie restriction that I was going to lose a ton of weight. And so I didn't. And I actually put on a little bit of muscle tone, which was a perk. My insomnia went away. My cramps for my Crohn's disease, that cleared up almost immediately. My gas and bloating, more of a perk for you, but
yeah, big perk.
That cleared up after like 2 days. That was pretty cool. And then this is a weird one, but my gums used to bleed every time I'd floss, and they stopped bleeding. It was like I got stronger gums or something. Yeah, it was the weirdest perk, but definitely a perk nonetheless.
If you've done carnivore before and you noticed your gums not bleeding while doing carnivore, let us know in the comments, because I'm wondering if that's just like a weird thing that happened with us or if that's pretty normal.
Yeah, I would say people are like rolling their eyes.
So my results superficially, my cystic acne was one of the biggest things that I struggled with for the past 10 years. That cleared up. I mean, every single day I was seeing progress, and as hard as this diet was, that was the one thing that kept me motivated and kept me going. I still have some redness and some inflammation that I'm working through. I know it's going to take years to completely heal. Like, I'll get a blemish every now and then, but the cystic acne is gone, which is such a huge blessing. I had energy that I haven't had in years. It was so nice to be able to be an energetic mom to my 2 littles and have plenty of energy to go around. Hair thinning was something that I struggled with before too, and I have all these little baby hairs starting to grow, so I definitely feel like my hair is growing in more than it used to, and it's not falling out as bad as it was. But now for the results. Do you want to share your results first?
Yeah, so how did it affect our autoimmune disease? Luckily for me, not luckily, but since I have Crohn's disease, they track my inflammation in my gut periodically every quarter. And so I have to poop in a basket and then send it off to the lab, and they'll tell me, I think it's called Capriac fecal something test, but the average person should be 50 or below. That's the range for the average person. I've been in the thousands before with my Crohn's disease. And so when I started this diet, I was at 414, which again isn't bad for me, but that's really bad for the average person. It's a lot of inflammation in their gut. After 100 days of doing it, retesting, I was at 305, which is great for me. It's 100 points less than it was before, so it's trending in the right direction. Still not where I want it, but definitely a huge win. So for my autoimmune disease, it was definitely helpful. It reduced a lot of inflammation.
I had my blood drawn 30 days after starting the carnivore diet. I did not know what to expect at all. So when I walked in her office, and the first thing that came out of her mouth, Isaac is my witness, she said, "You do not have Hashimoto's disease." Excuse me? Like, it took me a second to register. I'm like, shut up. Like, can you say that one more time? I don't think I heard you correctly. I don't have Hashimoto's disease. What does that even mean? I don't know what to do with this information. Like, I didn't know if I should cry or if I should be confused. She said, what we test are the antibodies. I'm gonna probably pronounce this wrong, but if you wanna get it tested yourself, it was thyroid peroxidase antibodies. I was in the thousands when I first got diagnosed. When they tested me, she said, you should be a 9 or below if you do not have an autoimmune disease. And I tested at a 9. So to go from the thousands to a 9 is just craziness to me. My TSH, my T4, my T3, my T3 reverse, my progesterone levels, my estradiol levels, my testosterone levels, everything was absolutely perfect. She said, honey, your hormones are perfect, your thyroid is perfect, you don't need to come back and see me. And I was like, are you serious? Like, I could not even believe what I had heard. The only thing that was a little bit elevated was my DHEA, which she said could be connected to stress. So that's something that we're working on now, just to continue on our health journeys to make sure that we're managing our stress properly. And we'll have some more videos coming out on that soon. But as far as the actual blood results, for someone to tell you after having an autoimmune disease for 10 years that you just don't have it anymore, I literally could not even believe that.
So by all means, we are not saying that this will work for you. It's just purely anecdotal, and it has worked for us, which has been great. Again, both of our diseases for our current autoimmune diseases seem to react very well to this.
And after 30 days, I was feeling great, wanted to go another 60, was feeling great, went the full 100. Now that I've gone 100, I'm slowly starting to reintroduce foods. So far, we've reintroduced butternut squash, avocado for me, and that's it.
Yeah.
So taking it very, very, very slow and just making sure that we don't have any type of adverse reaction.
So I had gotten off the diet for a little bit, but I introduced food way too fast, so I jumped back on. So really, I did like 70-something days. She never cheated once, did the full 100 days, which was crazy.
As hard as it was looking at these results, I would do it 10 times over again. This was a really great reset for us, and I would definitely recommend it.
If you're curious how quickly you can start to see results, you can go back and watch our 30-day update. We show you how many results we had seen just in 30 days of doing the diet.